66 million years ago, a rock the size of a mountain was on a collision course with Earth. It was late, it was afternoon probably, and nothing on the planet had any idea what was coming. Now ask yourself something strange. What if it missed? Not by much, just enough. A few hours earlier in Earth's orbit, a slightly different angle, a nudge from some other body millions of years before, the asteroid sails past. Chicxulub never happens. The dinosaurs do not die. This isn't science fiction. It's a question paleontologists actually study, because understanding what did happen requires understanding what could have happened instead, and the answer might unsettle you. Because in the version where the asteroid misses, you probably don't exist. Here's where the story usually gets told wrong. People imagine a slow decline, dinosaurs fading out, worn down, obsolete. That's not what the fossil record shows. Right up until the impact, dinosaurs were thriving, diverse, dominant, every ecological niche you can imagine, filled by some clawed, feathered, armored, or horned reptile. Paleontologist Steve Brusatte has spent much of his career making this exact point. The dinosaurs were not on their way out. They were at the height of their success when the sky opened up and ended it in a single afternoon. So picture that afternoon going differently. The asteroid streaks past Earth, a bright line in the sky that a triceratops never looks up to see. Life continues. And this is where things get genuinely uncomfortable for you personally, because your ancestors, tiny mammals scurrying in the undergrowth, were not thriving. They were surviving, barely, squeezed into the margins of a dinosaur-dominated world. Think about what that actually looked like. The mammals of the late Cretaceous were mostly nocturnal, small, some no bigger than a mouse, a few close to the size of a badger, but nothing more. They came out at night specifically to avoid the reptiles that ruled the day. Sound familiar? Your instinct to feel safer with the lights on, the ancient unease around darkness and open spaces, some researchers trace an echo of that pressure all the way back to this exact era. You were built by ancestors who survived by staying small and staying hidden. Now here's the twist that makes paleontologists nervous. Without the extinction event, that arrangement doesn't change. There's no reason for it to. Evolution doesn't plan ahead. It doesn't reward potential. It rewards whatever survives right now. And right now, in this alternate timeline, being a 200-pound mammal with a large brain and clever hands is not an advantage. It's a liability. You'd be outcompeted, outrun, or simply eaten before you got the chance to become anything else. This is the part people get wrong about evolution in general. It feels like a ladder climbing towards something. It's not. It's closer to a lock that only opens under the right conditions. And the conditions that open the door for mammals were catastrophic for almost everyone else. Paleontologist and asteroid impact researcher Walter Alvarez, along with his father, physicist Luis Alvarez, first proposed in 1980 that a massive impact caused the extinction, based on an unusual layer of iridium found in rock strata worldwide. Iridium is rare on Earth, but common in asteroids. That thin grey line in the rock, found on multiple continents, is the fingerprint of the exact event that had to happen for you to exist at all. Without it, that lock stays shut. Indefinitely, as far as the fossil record can tell us. Dinosaurs had already existed for over 160 million years before the impact. Compare that to primates, which have existed for roughly 60 million years, and modern humans, who've been around for about 300,000. If dinosaurs were removed from the equation only by sheer chance, there's no clock forcing evolution to eventually replace them. They could have simply continued. Another 60 million years. Another 160. You start to realize just how much of your existence depended on one specific afternoon, going one specific way. But let's push further, because this is where it gets genuinely strange. Let's say, hypothetically, dinosaurs kept evolving on their own timeline instead of ending abruptly. What would they have become? Paleontologist Dale Russell proposed a famous, controversial idea back in the 1980s, the dinosauroid, a hypothetical descendant of a small, intelligent, bird-like dinosaur called Troodon. Troodon already had unusually large brains for a dinosaur, and forward-facing eyes, useful for depth perception, similar to the way your own eyes work. Russell speculated that, given enough time, evolutionary pressures could have pushed a Troodon-like lineage towards something upright, dexterous, and intelligent. Basically, an alternate path to a thinking creature that never needed mammals at all. Most paleontologists today think Russell's specific dinosauroid was too human-like, too shaped by looking at ourselves and assuming intelligence has to look a certain way. But the underlying question still holds. Intelligence has evolved independently multiple times on Earth already, in octopuses, in crows and parrots, which are, worth remembering, dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs, not descended from them. Actually them, a surviving branch that made it through the exact event you're imagining away. So evolved dinosaur intelligence isn't some far-fetched fantasy. It already happened. It's sitting on a branch outside your window right now. Here's the reframe. In the world where the asteroid misses, dinosaurs don't stop evolving. They keep going. And somewhere down that line, something clever might have emerged. Not human, not mammalian, but aware, in its own way, of the same basic problems every intelligent creature eventually faces. Finding food, avoiding predators, understanding weather. Maybe even looking up at the sky sometimes, the same sky that almost ended everything for its ancestors, without any idea how close it came. Meanwhile, your ancestors stay small, stay hidden, stay nocturnal. There's a real possibility that in this version of Earth, mammals never get the opening to diversify at all. No apes. No primates as you'd recognize them, because the empty ecological space they eventually filled after the extinction, the daytime niches, the larger body sizes, the 50 different roles that opened up practically overnight when the dinosaurs disappeared, that space simply never opens. This is the part that should sit with you for a second. You didn't earn your existence through some inevitable march of progress. You're the result of a specific, violent, 6-mile-wide coincidence that happened to clear exactly enough space for a shrew-like creature's descendants to eventually stand upright, build a fire, and ask questions like this one. Now here's the mirror to bring this back to something you feel. Think about how often you assume the way things are is the way they had to be. Your job, your city, your relationships. It's easy to feel like the current version of your life was somehow destined, the natural result of everything before it. But most of what shaped you, if you actually trace it back, came from chance moments you had zero control over, a decision your parents made before you were born, a conversation that happened to happen, an opportunity that existed only because something else, somewhere else, didn't work out the way it should have. Evolution doesn't care about should, it only cares about what actually happens. And what actually happened is that an asteroid, roughly 6 miles wide, entered Earth's atmosphere at around 45,000 miles per hour and struck the Yucatan Peninsula in what is now Mexico. The impact released energy equivalent to billions of times the atomic bombs dropped in World War II. It triggered wildfires, blocked sunlight with debris for months or years, and collapsed food chains from the bottom up. It killed roughly 3/4 of all species on Earth, including every non-avian dinosaur. And it opened a door that had been shut for 160 million years. So the next time you feel small, or stuck, or like your existence is just an accident of circumstance, you're not wrong. It genuinely is. You're the descendant of creatures who survived by staying quiet, staying hidden, and waiting for a chance that arrived by pure, violent coincidence 66 million years ago. That's not a depressing thought. It's closer to the opposite. Every single one of your ancestors, for 66 million uninterrupted years, managed to survive long enough to pass the chance forward. Through ice ages, through predators, through catastrophes that erased almost everything else around them. You are not the result of destiny. You're the result of an unbroken chain of survival so long and so improbable that calling it luck almost undersells it. So the asteroid didn't miss. And because it didn't, you're here to wonder what would have happened if it had.